pressure and projection of the part, this is called septum primum. That is called septum primum. That descend towards the common atrioventricular canal. Okay, that is the first step that happens. Now this is a pulmonary vein that is coming to drain on the left side of the common atrial chamber. Now this is the sinus venosus, and we see the three sets of the veins comes to drain into it. This is the sinoatrial orifice. This is the shape of the sinoatrial orifice between the common atrial chamber and the sinus venosus. Now let us see the picture over here. We see the shape of the sinoatrial orifice. It is a circular over there, and then it is reduced into the circle and is a prolongated part in place of the circle wall. And this is the septum primum invaginated. These are the three pairs of the three sets of the veins coming to the right horn, left horn is starting to be regressing. Now coming over here, you see the shape of the sinoatrial orifice. It now becomes circular, intervening between the common atrial chamber and the main right horn of the sinus venosus. Left horn reduces over there, and then it is merged with the right horn of the sinus venosus. Now at the same time, there is what happens. There is a formation of the septum primum over here. By the side of the septum primum, what happens? The same picture. By the side, right side of this, there is one more septum that starts happening. This is called septum secundum. And this is the sinoatrial orifice, which is now forming a septum. This septum is called septum spurium, having two valves. This is the right venous valve and this is the left venous valve. This is the position of the common cardinal veins. That is, will become the SBC, vital vein, that will become the IVC, and now you know the veins of the left side, what happens. Now coming to this picture, what happens, how it happens, the sinoatrial orifice now will be enlarged in this, encircling the SBC, IVC and coronary sinus opening, and this is the left venous valve with the prolongation of the heart chamber. So this sinoatrial orifice now forming this circle like this. This is the right venous valve, this is the left venous valve. Right venous valve is separated by a muscular band, superior and inferior limbic band. So this part enclosing the superior vena cava, this part intervening between superior and inferior limbic band enclosing the IVC, and this part below is enclosing the opening of the coronary sinus. Now what happens to the left venous valve? Left venous valve is now merged with the septum secundum, which will be ultimately forming the interatrial septum. Now let me tell you, the septum primum is towards the common atrial chamber, that is endocardial cushion. From there one septum appears called septum intermedium. So the gap between septum primum and the endocardial cushion is called foramen primum. Then ultimately septum primum fuses with the endocardial cushion and it is detached. So there are two parts, upper part and lower part. Lower part will go along with the endocardial cushion forming the septum intermedium, and this is the merged part of the septum primum. By the right side of this is the septum secundum now appears from the roof of the common atrial chamber. So this is septum primum, this is septum intermedium, this is septum intermedium. Now in between the septum primum, septum secundum, the one more oval that is appearing, this is called foramen oval, or this is now called foramen secundum. So foramen primum disappears. There is formation of septum primum. The part of septum primum fused with this. This is called septum intermedium, and the next is the septum secundum appears from the roof. So the gap between septum secundum and septum intermedium, this is called the foramen secundum, otherwise called foramen oval. You must be knowing by this time what is the fate of foramen oval. When the right atrial pressure after birth of the baby occurs, the right atrial pressure increases, and so this is a closure of the foramen oval, and it will forming the fossa ovalis, which are called a margin, that is called limbus fossa ovalis or annulus fossa ovalis, derived from the septum secundum, and floor of the fossa ovalis, that is derived from the septum primum. Okay, so this foramen oval is ultimately forming the fossa ovalis, which you have already seen in your demonstration class of the right atrial chamber. So this is SBC, IVC, and the coronary sinus opening. This is in the smooth part of the right atrium. So right atrium has got two development, one from the common atrial gemellum, that is the rough part of the right atrium, and smooth part, that is by the incorporated part of this sinus venosus having the three opening SBC, IBC and the coronary sinus. Similar to that, this is your the left atrial chamber, which is derived from two part, rough part and smooth part. Rough part derived from the common atrial chamber separated by interatrial septum, and smooth part from the absorbed part of the pulmonary vein. To start with, we see the single vein, then we see it is opening into the atrial, then the two opening, then we see the more absorption. So this is your the four pulmonary vein that will be draining into the left atrial chamber. So both the side, right atrium and left atrium, development of smooth part and the rough part. So this is how it happened to the venous wall encircling the sinoatrial orifice. Ultimately, what happens over here? Let us see. This is SBC, which is enlarged by this portion of the right venous wall called cister terminalis. This is IVC, enclosed by the valve that is also derived from the right venous wall. This is coronary sinus. This is also covered by the valve of the coronary sinus. So SBC is having the cister terminalis, IVC, valve of the IVC is there, coronary sinus, valve of the coronary sinus are there. They all are derived from the right venous valve of the valve called septum spurium. What happens to the left valve? That is merged with the septum, second down forming the interatrial septum. So this is how the fate of the sinus venosus is there, the shape of the sinoatrial orifice, what is the valve of the enclosing the sinoatrial orifice, how the septum primum appears, septum secundum appears, septum intermedium appears, and how the formation of the common atrial chamber divided by the interatrial septum into the rough part of the right atrium, rough part of the left atrium, smooth part of the right side is absorbed part of the superior vena cava, and smooth part of the left atrium is derived from the absorbed part of the pulmonary veins. Okay.